time had to pre-exist before the earth was created. Well, if time was already existing before the heavens and the earth was created, where was time? Time was in the belly womb of eternity. So time came out of eternity. Eternity didn't come out of time. Are y'all following me? And so that means that God loved me enough to give me a portion of eternity and apply it and assign it to my life and call it time. And so that means that if I'm thinking that God is slow, that means I'm mishandling my time.
Whoa, whoa.
Come on now. Come on. Come on.
Whoa, that's good.
That must mean that I'm mishandling my time. Because if time is appointed to me, that means time has to walk with me and obey me.
Whoa.
Amen.
Y'all missed
Preach
that.
up in here, man.
Amen. Come on. Amen.
If time is with me,
Yeah.
time, Mr. Adidas, has to work for me.
Come on, that's right.
Are y'all still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, can I walk? Am I okay? Can I walk? Can I move around? If time is assigned to me,
Come on.
I have the ability to make time stay with me or leave me.
Come on.
The Bible declares that a disobedient child,
Oh, come on.
days shall be numbered.
Yes, sir.
And whenever I disobey God or disobey the authority of my parents,
Yes.
I cause time to leave my life early.
Say that. Come on.
And that means that my days are shortened and I don't live long.
Yeah.
Why? Because Romans, come here Romans, Paul, talk to me. Romans says that the wages of sin is death. Okay, y'all still missed it. Come here Romans, come here Paul, talk to me. For all have sinned. In other words, let me stop right there and say that some of us were supposed to live a whole lot longer than we want to live. Or should live. Are y'all hearing me? But our life get cut short, man of God, when we start disobeying our parents or disobeying God. The spirit of disobedience come in and put his arm around time and try to arrest time and pull it away from our presence. And that means we die early in our sin. Are y'all with me?
Walk, Apostle, in here.
Come on.
So if I have the ability, Brother Drummer, if I have the ability to speak to time, I have to learn how to manage my time.
Come on. That's right. Say that.
Oh, God. Sister Scribe, can I say it like this? I have the power and the authority to assign the time that's assigned to my life. Well, I speak those things that be not as though they already were. And if I tell time to get in front of me, and if time is standing in front of me, that means I'm behind time. If I tell time to get behind me, I'm before my time. But if I say time, get to my right, time, get to my left, then time is on my side. So I must understand time. I must understand that God is not short. God is not slack. God is not late. God has not forgotten me because it's not coming when I think it ought to be there. Oh, I'm talking to somebody.
That's right.
You praying for something and God said, I'll give it to you. But not now.
But I know.
Right.
Please ask me why.
Why?
About 14 of y'all not going to get it. You'll still be waiting. Please ask me why.
Why?
12 of y'all still missing it. There's something you need in your life you've been asking God for, and he has not released it. He approved it, but he didn't release it.
Wow.
Please ask me why.
Why?
Because you couldn't handle it at your said time, but God knew you would grow into it through your hell at the appointed time.
That's right.
He couldn't afford to make y'all a millionaire because you would have messed it up.
That's right. Come on now. Jesus. In God's time.
Why ain't gonna make you a millionaire and you can't even pay tithes on your $10? I love my pastor. I'm gonna pay my tithes and bless my pastor and pay out the church. I'm gonna buy us a new church. You won't even buy new fans for the church. I wish I had some real witnesses. I wish I had some real witnesses in here. I don't care when folks get mad at me. I'm gonna preach the word. So watch this. Watch this. I got about 15 minutes. I'm gonna get out of your way. Watch this. When I read the scripture, and the Spirit of the Lord gave it to me, He was saying, God is not slack or slow of His promise.
Amen.
He told me to use for a subject. I want to talk about the promise is still coming. Look at somebody and say, the promise is still coming.
The promise is still coming.
There are some things that you've been promised in your life, and people have disappointed you. People have irritated you. People have told you a certain time and it didn't happen. And then they want to come back and change the time and tell you another time. And then you say, you told me that the last time. Didn't it happen then? What makes you think it's going to happen now? I trusted you in the last season. You coming back with another promise, and now you got a liar friend as a witness. Yeah, he ain't going to do it. Like it's really going to happen. And it still ain't going to happen. I'm still looking for my promise. And normally a promise is something that's going to improve your condition or circumstance. And anytime someone wants to promise you something that's going to take away from you,
Yes, that's it.
rather than add to you, that was not from God.
Articulate it, right?
That was just a verbal agreement or a contract between two parties of a mutual agreement to try to get you to hush, to satisfy or pacify you. But the blessings of the Lord make it rich and added no sorrow. Now watch this. You get a new car that you know you can't afford, that you didn't ask God about, and you just went out and got it because your boy had one, and so you wanted one, and you're going to put 22s on it because he got 20s on it. That wasn't God. That wasn't God. And so now, when the tow truck come get it at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you knew what happened, and then your girl said, what happened to the car? I don't know, I guess somebody stole it. And you already know it. You didn't pay it. That was not the Lord. So in other words, before we do anything, we got to ask God for permission to do it. And when God gives us permission, it's because it's in His will, and His desire, and it brings Him glory. Are y'all hearing me? God. And so we get mad at God because we don't put our hands in the promise. Woo.
That's good. I like that.
We put our hands in the promise. When a man finds a good thing,
Come on.
and he ready to obtain favor
Make it plain.
from the Lord, and he feel like that woman is the right one, he looks at her not as a piece of property, but as a promise.
Come on now. Hallelujah.
When a man gets tired of having half the favor and he want all the favor, he start looking for the promise. And so when he looks at the woman and he says, now, is she just temporary? Or do she have the potential to fill the permanent position?
My Lord.
Oh, you ain't got no real people in here.
My Lord. Come on.
Because some of y'all knew she wasn't the one when you saw her at the first time.
Jesus.
She wasn't a promise. She was just passing time. Y'all still inside.
Hallelujah. That's right.
And so when you decide that this is the one, you ask her to marry you. Somebody say, marry me.
Marry me.
Because if you marry me, I'm going to obtain favor.
Yes.
My life is going to change.
Yes.
I'm going to slow down. I'm going to settle down. I'm going to stay at home. It got real quiet all over. Ain't say all that. But when the Lord comes in and tell you this is the one, you ask for her hand. I'm going somewhere with this. You ask for her hand in marriage, and you say that I promise you, will you marry me? And there's a period in between the actual wedding called engagement.
Jesus.
that engagement period has been misinterpreted by tradition because we think it's time to get all the tuxedos and get all the bridesmaids and the dresses and find the venue, the place to get it, get the cars ready, get the program ready, the cake, the sardines or whatever we're going to serve.
Come on.
We spend more time on the engagement and invest more in the engagement than we do the wedding.
Come on. Yes. Hallelujah.
But the engagement period is not really for you to see how much money you have to come up with. The engagement period is to see that, can I put up with your failures and your shames and your past and your pain and your embarrassment and the hell you've been through and all your secrets that'll make you sick that I can't handle and you can't handle. Can I deal with you for a lifetime? Can I really put up with this? She look good in the club, but boy, when she wake up. Now you wondering, was I drunk? I done broke this on. Is this my promise? You wake up a whole week later and you wake up and see her and you try to play like you still sleep her. Really? So the promise prepares you for the real connection.
Yes. Say that.
And a lot of times, God will say, even in an engagement period, you're not ready yet.
You're not ready. Come on.
Because if you make me so mad that I got to raise my hand to hit you, woman, then I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
That's right.
Or if I get mad, you want to push me and take a brick and bust my windows out my car and slash my tires. We're not ready yet. Oh, y'all still tripping. Maybe I ought to say it so y'all can understand it. She pick up a brick and say, I bust the windows out your car. If that's what it is, we're not ready. You push me, I'll push you back. Then you say, to the left, you got to put them out. So God is looking for a connection. What he's saying, are you really ready to give up what you're going through in order to just love me? Because if you really come to me today, I promise you, the promise is still coming. And I'll make your life better. The reason why it have not changed for you yet, I gave you time to make up your mind.
Thank you, Lord.
Are you serious about me?
Serious about me.
Are you really going to get serious about me? Are you going to love me? Are you going to really treat me? When was the last time? When was it? I need to talk to some people. I don't know why the Lord lead me this way. God, I got about 12 minutes.
Take your time. Come on.
But I want to talk to some people in this house. You may not be in love now, but you was really in love. I need to see some hands of people that really know how to be in love. I mean, thank you, woman of God. When you're really in love, it aches on the inside when you're not around me.
Hallelujah.
Am I talking to somebody? I want to talk to somebody here that's been so in love that you call them for nothing. What you doing?
That sounds right.
What you doing? Nothing. But you gotta do nothing. What you gotta do nothing. What you want? Nothing. I just wanted to hear your voice. And then soon you hang up and say, oh, did I tell you I love you? I love you. That's in love.
Yes.
You in love when you walk away and you say, I miss you. I miss you too, boo. I miss you. I'm trying to go somewhere, y'all. Y'all stay with me. I miss you too, boo. Oh, baby. Yeah. I love you, Pooh. Yeah, I love you too. I love you. Whatever that pet name is, I love you. And then you go, what you doing? Oh, I'm tired. I just done on work. Sleep with me on the phone. Am I talking to anybody in here? You been so in love, you just slept with them on the phone. You just held the phone. You woke up the phone all over your chest, slob all down here and stuff like that. You didn't want to be away from them just to What do you want? I'm trying to listen. I just want to hear you breathe. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. You don't want to talk to Everybody heard they got somebody with them that's your mate, blow a kiss at them. Yeah, y'all needed that. Can I stop and tell you something? I know the Holy Spirit got me teaching this, okay?
Yeah.
If you can't love me in public, don't love me in private.
That's right. Come
Y'all missed
on.
that. Y'all missed that. Because some of us only want to love God at church. Well, it's private and only other lovers of God love Him. But you never really love God until you love Him in the midst of the club while it's bumping.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you done broke out into worship at the club. Yeah, you really start loving Him. You know He got something for you. When you walk up and you've been hard all your life.
Right?
In the lead.
Ain't nothing to loving on Jesus. That's when you really love Him.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
You know you still got it going on.
Talent.
You think you do? You think you do? You can't really walk it like you used to.
Come on.
But you're still trying to shake it, make it. About to fall in them stilettos. Hey girl. What you do? You really ain't got your hand on your hip because you're sexy, your back hurt. What you doing? I'm just blessing the Lord.
Amen.
That's when you start really loving God, that it don't matter who you around. You become the witness and the testimony.
Right.
And you wonder why God did not release your stuff. He said, because if you're ashamed to own me before men, I'll be ashamed to own you before my Father which is in heaven. And there's some people right here that God wants to release something new in your life that you never had before. He's just waiting on you to get out of your element and out of your comfort zone and to do something you've never done before. God is saying, I don't care if you ain't never opened your mouth and praise. This is the season. This is the second right now. Tell your neighbor, excuse me. But I'm about to open my mouth.